Josh.
Yeah. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, what's up, man?
See you guys.
Good to see you, bud.
It's like the podcast group over here.
Yes, we're the kids at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Don't use that word around me. Podcast.
You ready?
Sure.
The Highline practice. I know you're excited for that, but how important is it for everybody to, I guess, all like play along and get up there and do it, and not kind of, for lack of a better term, half-ass it?
Well, honestly, I think it's quite simple, and I think that the drivers that want to do it all think the same thing. If you dip below where the Highline should be, which is very laid out on this track, and everybody's been here, you just get black flagged. So it's honestly, it's up to us to be men about it, and it's up to the series to, kick out the people that don't want to play by the rules. The issue is as you see, it takes one. You see one person do it, the next person does it, and you just start a chain reaction. If he's doing it, why can't I do it? So that's kind of what happened in the past, and that's just due to it not being policed. But, if Kyle, gets on people and, starts black flagging people for dipping below, then honestly, awesome, because that means it's effective. And I think we also have to remember we're here to put on a show for all the fans that have come out. This racetrack's obviously not in a city mecca, so people have to drive here, they're camping here, they're spending money to come out here and do this, and Hy-Vee's obviously spending a ton of money with Penske. And we also have, we have to be giving back in that sense too. So we owe it to them to be doing the right thing.
You feel obviously you guys have some momentum, another top 10 last week in Mid-Ohio. There's been a huge jump from, let's say, 365 days ago. How are you feeling on the verge of cracking the top 10 in the points? Now we got some ovals. I know you love that. So remainder of the season, what are you looking for?
Well, I think the biggest Achilles heel in Mid-Ohio was not qualifying too well. But as a group, collectively, we weren't sparkly. Look at Laguna. We were definitely top 5 car if it wasn't for the drive-through, which it's on me. We're so close to being consistently fighting for a podium position, and it's just the little itty-bitty things that make this, so technical and so difficult to do. I mean, we're fighting Pato in Laguna and quicker than him, and he wins next weekend. So it's not like we're fighting with the wrong group of guys here. We are fighting with, guys that can win and equipment that can win. So it's putting everything together, executing correctly, and knowing where and when, not to be pushing, in a sense, during the race now. And it's fun, honestly. It's been a blast this year. So I think the team's had a great time. I've had a great time carrying the momentum off the road and street courses where everyone's like, we don't know what we're getting, into short ovals to where I feel a little bit more at home. It's going to be, I think, a good swing for us.
To follow up on the lanes and kind of the Highline practice, I think you tested here a couple of weeks ago. What's the difference between the new pavement and the old pavement? Is it like how Texas was, or is it a little bit different than that? And also, do you have to set up the car for the new pavement, and thus does that kind of exacerbate the problem when you get out in the old pavement?
So the nice thing is when they paved here, obviously the transition from the transitions into 1 and 3, you don't really feel. They've done a really good job blending that in. And when you get to the exit of the corners where you're back on the gas and the car's sliding, you're on the new pavement all the way out to the wall. So we don't really need to worry about setting the car up for the old pavement. It's kind of like the same old Iowa, to where you're setting it up to drive it in as hard as you can. And just that's what's important. And kind of that same philosophy applies here. Obviously, it's a little bit of a different setup now with the fact that the track's so smooth. I think we were all kind of nervous watching the Cup cars go bouncing around, and then we got on it and we were like, this thing's like, it's beautiful. It's like the floor. It's nice. So we're all happy about it. And like I said, I think Highline is going to be important, so we can pass. Because if not, I think it's going to be a single lane racetrack.
Is the hybrid going to make much of a difference to the oval racing?
I think it will, but not at this track. So momentum here is so high that you're not really lifting that much. Like it's not a full lift. So the hybrid has a little bit of a harder time recharging when you're not in a full lift. So I feel like it's going to be more of a strategic use of the power. So you'll be conserving it and using it for defense and offense, as opposed to like Milwaukee, you can basically use it every other lap because you're lifting and like having a big, post moment. And obviously road and street courses, you are running out of it every lap, in like two full bursts. So there's a bit of a different game here. The weight hasn't actually had as big of an effect here as I thought it would. I think partially to do with the new pavement, but hard to say.
Track record speeds, how do you feel about that? It's a lot faster than it has been in the past.
What is it? Do we know?
Colton did a 189.9 when they tested it.
So is that track record?
That's like 7 miles an hour faster than you track. Can you feel that?
Well, it feels, so it's weird because it feels quick and the straight line speed's not faster because of the downforce. So cars are kind of topped out, but the mid corner speed's just like unbelievable. But it feels fast. I mean, you're basically flat out around here, which is like, it's kind of satisfying because like you go to iRacing and then you always run like the big flat out ovals in the IRL league, and it's just like, this is awesome. And then you come here and you're like doing it in real life, you're like, this is nuts. It's like completely different. So yeah, so it's a fun feeling. But yeah, if we're already 7 miles an hour over it, then we're definitely smoking it today, or tomorrow rather.
Shoulder feel good?
Yeah, so Mid-Ohio was tough, not gonna lie. The repave, the use of the hybrid, mentally, physically, like, took me all week to recover. I felt like that was the most physical track by far on the calendar. Here, I mean, beautiful thing of driving a comfortable car, it's not a lot of work. So last year I was worn out. It was a lot of work. This year I do not plan to be worn out.
You said it was going to be like comfortable. Do you think tire wear will cause a major play for Sunday and Saturday?
I don't know if we're going to wear much, to be honest with you. I mean, our full stints, we only dropped off a half second. I mean,
jeez.
Yeah, so maybe a second at most. But I mean, if you look back last year, it was 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the same realm anymore. The tires are different. We're just obviously hoping that Firestone with that softer left side adds a little bit more tire wear and tire drag into it. But obviously we're trying to avoid some of the blowouts that we've seen in testing. It's very, very unlike Firestone. I don't think that's happened in quite a few decades. But yeah, when you add 100 pounds to a car that, like this, and you've had something going for a really long time that's been amazing, it's kind of hard to understand exactly, like, you can't simulate everything. So, and also everybody's driving style is different. As you can tell, it's only been a couple of guys, it's not been everybody. Like for us in particular, even looking back at Road America, Laguna, and Mid-Ohio, we saw people blistering and really dropping off the pace, and for us, we've been just getting faster as the stints go on and we burn the fuel. So I think it's very dependent on other factors as well.
Cool. Thank you.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.